So what's up, YouTube? In today's video, we're gonna get into, are you too old to get into tech? So if you're new to the channel, my name is Kenny G. I'm an iOS engineer, and I make content around iOS development, as well as software engineering, and even sometimes sneaker related stuff, and I'm trying to get into vlogs. But overall, I'm a software engineer, been doing this for a long time. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. Also hit the like button, it helps out my channel. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So this has been an old age question that's been going on for years now. Most people always seem to ask this question in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, some folks even 60 years old. And they always want to know, are they too old to get into tech or become a software engineer, or heck, even just become a recruiter in tech, a project manager? And for me, I want to answer that question for you. So the answer is no, you're not too old to become a software engineer or to even get into tech, period. So the reason I say this is because, and honestly, so in tech, we don't look at how old someone is. We look at, can they actually perform the job well? So give a small example. If you're applying and say you're 40 years old and you want to become a software engineer, you have the skills, you've gone through some boot camps, you've done a lot of research, you've gone to college, or you went back to college for a computer science degree, engineering degree, and now you're looking into trying to become a software engineer. And honestly, if you come into an interview, I don't care how old you are, just being completely honest with you. If you can code, hand this guy a computer or hand this lady a computer. Here's all your credentials you need. Here's the GitHub access. Cool. So when can you start coding? That's all I'm gonna be asking. All the other stuff around, what this person's too old, or I don't think they can keep up. That's nonsense. I have managers that are older in age. I have worked with other developers that's older. I remember I've worked with a guy who was probably like around 65 years old, and he was a developer. Gotta say, the guy was cold, no lie. Probably one of the best developers I've ever worked with. He was the one who even told me to get an ergonomic keyboard. Beforehand, I was using a regular keyboard like everybody else. He was like, nah, man, I've been doing this for 40 years. Get you an ergonomic keyboard, especially if you plan on being a software engineer up until you're my age. He was like, trust me, it's gonna help you out in the long run. So that's just a tip for some people out there that's still typing on regular keyboards. Nah, go ahead and pay the money, get you a good ergonomic keyboard. But overall, the age doesn't matter. Getting into tech, especially with tech is being so wide open nowadays, it's not even like most people get into tech and just immediately want to become a software engineer. You can get into tech and want to become a recruiter, a project manager, UI, UX designer. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, heck, there's so many job openings in tech, which is probably why TikTok is going crazy with telling people to just hop into tech. But that's a video for another day. But overall, you don't have to be any particular age to get into tech. Whatever you want to do as far as getting into tech, whether it's a recruiter or whatnot, just make sure you have the skills. That's the biggest thing I'll tell you. As long as you have the skills, the personality to match, you're a people person, because obviously there's a behavioral interview that you'll probably end up going through. And we're going through a behavioral interview. You just want to make sure that, you're on your P's and Q's, you can answer questions effectively, you're a team player, you're somebody people want to work with. And overall, it's a much, much better laid back job. I mean, I know people who are nurses, who are lawyers, who are in other various careers, and, they're looking at, man, I'm 35, 40 plus years old. I've been doing what I've been doing for years. To go back to school or to go to a boot camp nowadays seems crazy. I have kids and XYZ. Look, I totally understand. But if you don't like the career that you're in, you're not happy, you're not satisfied with it, before you just jump the gun and decide you want to get into tech, I always tell anybody, do your research. After doing some research, if there's something you really, really want to do, hey, give it a shot. Don't look at the fact that, you're older in age, or you're like 40, 50, 60 years old, and you're just like, man, I've been doing what I've been doing for years, whether it's, heck, being a truck driver, and you're like, man, it's gonna take me too long to learn this stuff, and even when I get in it, I'm gonna be at the bottom of the pole, this, that, and the third. Look, one thing I will say, being in tech is always fast moving, and you're gonna grow. So you may walk into tech and give an example of like a software engineer. You walk into tech as a software engineer, obviously you're gonna start off as a junior developer. it won't take you long before you ramp up to be a mid-level developer. Now, once you're a mid-level developer, you may sit in the mid for a while. I'm not gonna lie on that. Most people don't go from mid to senior immediately because there's so much knowledge you need to know prior to becoming a senior engineer. But with that being said, if you get into tech overall and you want to be a project manager, yes, you're going to start off at the bottom first. But look at all the other benefits you're going to have along with that. You have a new career. Number one, you can probably wear what you want to wear to work. The pay is probably decent, if nothing else. Regardless if you're a recruiter, project manager, whatever, the pay will be pretty good. You'll have people that you can work with, that you can, kick it with or hang with. Now, granted, if you are older, you may feel like, well, I don't want to be around a bunch of young people. But just to be honest with you, hanging with some young people will keep the youth in you. It'll bring it out of you a little bit more, if there's a better way of saying it. You won't feel like an old person, especially if you're like, and it's not bagging on any type of, career that somebody else may have, but say you're a lawyer and, you're used to working around a lot of older people who, they just want to sit there and talk about old stuff all day, and you feel old hanging around older people. But then you work at a tech company and everybody's young and free and it's cool. It's so much you can do. I mean, heck, most tech companies, you have snacks that they hand you for free. You can wear what you want to work. You have different outings that you have all the time, being in tech. Heck, if nothing else, at least when you go to the office, for the most part, they give you a free lunch. So, I mean, there are some benefits that come along with it. But overall, if you are older and you're looking to get into tech and you're thinking, I don't need to go into tech just because I am older, there are some older people who are also in tech. So don't let that, persuade you in any kind of way. Pretty much all my managers are older than me. So with that being said, I think it'll be a good career choice for you. And I think you should take your time, do your research. Don't let your age knock you for the fact of you wanting to get into tech. If you want to get into tech, please do. Age has nothing to do with it. But if you have any other questions, make sure you leave them down below. I'll try my best to answer them. I want to thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next video. See you.